In the 5th year of Rehoboam's reign, Shishak, the king of Egypt, went up and attacked Jerusalem. He plundered the treasures of the Lord's temple and the royal palace, taking everything, including the golden shields made by Solomon. Later, King Rehoboam made bronze shields to replace them and entrusted them to the officers of the guard who protected the entrance to the royal palace. Whenever the king went to the temple of the Lord, the guards would carry the shields and then return them to the guardroom. The rest of the events of Rehoboam's reign and all that he did are recorded in the book of the history of the kings of Judah. There was constant warfare between Rehoboam and Jeroboam. When Rehoboam died, he was buried with his ancestors in the city of David. His mother was an Ammonite woman named Naamah.
Biblical history. There was a notable woman whose influence, despite brief mention in the Bible, is reported to have left a lasting impact on Israel. Through contemporary theological analyses, explore how female influence shaped Solomon's reign, uncovering political secrets, spiritual challenges, and the consequences of crucial choices. A narrative of tragedy transformed into divine grace and timeless lessons that resonate in our days. Delve into the mysteries of Naamah, a story that transcends the centuries. Naamah, often relegated to a brief mention in the pages of the Bible, emerges as an extraordinary figure in the life of King Solomon and Israel. Despite the brevity of her mention, Naamah's impact transcends the centuries, leaving a lasting mark on the history and culture of Israel. Her influence goes beyond the superficial. Sacred scripture points to her intelligence and skill, traits that made her not only a wife to the king, but a valued and respected advisor. Though her name is not directly mentioned, it is interpreted as that of a strategic partner contributing to the wise and political decisions of the king, even though these passages are not explicitly stated in the Bible, but are often alluded to in connection with Solomon's wise actions. Naamah played a crucial role in the stability and prosperity of Israel. Her marriage was not just a union of hearts, but also an alliance that strengthened the bonds between Israel and the nation of Judah. One of the stories alluding to her indirect influence, as her name is not mentioned but which took place during that time, relates to the political affairs of Solomon's kingdom in matters of governance and diplomacy. The king's decisions contributed to stability, ensuring the kingdom's security, boosting trade, and the prosperity of Israel. As a faithful companion, her wise and diplomatic counsel may have helped Solomon maintain internal cohesion and peace. By addressing disputes wisely, the king was able to consolidate his power and ensure stability, creating an environment conducive to the flourishing of the kingdom. Naamah's ability to discern complex situations and propose wise solutions made her a respected confidant to Solomon. She not only adorned the throne as a queen, but also inspired the king in his decisions, demonstrating a profound influence that transcended the limits of the palace. Naamah, with her compassion and vision, was a source of inspiration for Solomon to direct the kingdom's resources toward initiatives benefiting the less fortunate. Solomon promoted fairs and cultural exchanges, attracting talents and wealth from other regions. His involvement in social and humanitarian causes underscores the positive influence Naamah had on the king's heart. One of Solomon's major accomplishments was the construction of the magnificent temple in Jerusalem. His ability to forge alliances, manage resources efficiently, mediate conflicts, and promote cultural and commercial development provided an environment conducive to the kingdom's flourishing, making it a respected and admired power in its time. These facts not only resulted in the grandeur of Solomon's reign, but also demonstrated the importance of wise and strategic leadership grounded in solid partnerships and long-term vision. In addition to political and social spheres, Solomon upheld the fundamental values of his faith, protecting the spiritual identity of Israel. His dedication to the worship of the God of Israel shaped the kingdom's spiritual environment. What were the spiritual and cultural challenges in the union of Solomon and Naamah? The marriage between Solomon and Naamah, though a significant political event, did not escape implications according to divine law. Naamah, being of foreign origin, brought not only a diplomatic alliance, but also challenges and questions in the light of principles established in divine law. The Mosaic Law, also known as the Law of Moses, refers to the set of laws and precepts given by God to Moses on Mount Sinai, as narrated in the Old Testament of the Bible. It aimed to preserve the singularity of worship to the God of Israel, avoiding foreign influences that could compromise this fidelity. Detailed laws on purity and holiness addressed issues related to food, hygiene, health, and purification rituals. These laws aimed to maintain the community's holiness before God. The Mosaic Law is part of the covenant established between God and the people of Israel, and includes divine promises of blessings for obedience and warnings for disobedience. Therefore, the Mosaic Law played a central role in shaping the religious and cultural identity of the people of Israel, highlighting the relevance of Christ's ultimate sacrifice in Christianity. It was an ethical and moral guide for individual and communal conduct, laying the foundations for the understanding of divine justice, mercy, and holiness. From the Mosaic Law, it is possible to understand the reason for the divine warning regarding the marriage of Naamah to Solomon. The union of an Israelite with a foreigner was viewed with caution, as it could lead to the influence of practices and beliefs contrary to the worship of the God of Israel. These warnings were not merely ritualistic, but a reflection of divine concern for the preservation of the faith and identity of the chosen people. We can understand this perspective in the biblical passage.
No Ammonite or Moabite or any of their descendants may enter the assembly of the Lord, not even in the 10th generation. Deuteronomy 23:3.
Throughout Solomon's history, we can observe that eventually he allowed foreign influences, including those brought by Naamah, to lead him astray from faith and divine commandments. One crucial point was the construction of altars for foreign gods. An example of this: Solomon's marriage to Naamah did not escape the challenges inherent in a union between distinct cultures. Naamah's presence in the Israelite environment introduced foreign elements, raising questions about the maintenance of the purity of worship to God. This complex dynamic may have generated spiritual and cultural tensions, leading to serious implications for the king and the people of Israel. In the Bible, the passage that references Solomon's marriage to foreign women states,
King Solomon, however, loved many foreign women, besides Pharaoh's daughter, Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Sidonians, and Hittites. They were from nations about which the Lord had told the Israelites, "You must not intermarry with them, because they will surely turn your hearts after their gods." Nevertheless, Solomon held fast to them in love. He had 700 wives of royal birth and 300 concubines, and his wives led him astray. As Solomon grew old, his wives turned his heart after other gods, and his heart was not fully devoted to the Lord his God, as the heart of David his father had been. He followed Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Sidonians, and Molech, the detestable god of the Ammonites. So Solomon did evil in the eyes of the Lord. He did not follow the Lord completely, as David his father had done. On a hill east of Jerusalem, Solomon built a high place for Chemosh, the detestable god of Moab, and for Molech, the detestable god of the Ammonites. Solomon did the same for all his foreign wives, who burned incense and offered sacrifices to their gods. On Kings 11:1-8.
The implications of the unequal marriage between Solomon and Naamah in light of divine law remind us of the importance of following the principles established by God. This union serves as a narrative highlighting the need for caution when dealing with alliances that may compromise faith and devotion to God. The spiritual and cultural consequences of this marriage teach us about the importance of seeking alliances that align with divine values. This union not only illustrates the warnings contained in the Mosaic Law, but also invites us to reflect on the importance of maintaining fidelity to spiritual principles even amid political alliances.
Rehoboam, son of Solomon, became king of Judah. He was 41 years old when he began to reign and reigned 17 years in Jerusalem, the city the Lord had chosen out of all the tribes of Israel in which to put his name. His mother, an Ammonite, was named Naamah. 1 Kings 14:21.
The royal heir, Rehoboam, faces crucial decisions that result in the division of the kingdom of Israel. His hasty choices teach us about the importance of wisdom and deliberation in leadership. Rehoboam, as the heir of Solomon, was awaited with great expectation. His arrival represented the continuity of the royal lineage and the hope for strong and wise leadership for the kingdom. The Bible emphasizes the importance of royal descendants as God's promise to David included the continuation of his descendants on the throne. The name Rehoboam means wide is the expansion of the people, or he will enlarge the people, indicating the hope and expectation that the kingdom of Israel would continue to prosper under his leadership. Although the birth of Rehoboam was a significant event, his legacy is marked by later challenges in his reign. Rehoboam, succeeding his father Solomon on the throne, faced a critical moment that showcased his unfortunate decisions. When the northern tribes sought relief from the heavy burdens imposed by Solomon, Rehoboam consulted the younger advisors instead of the more experienced ones. Ignoring the wise counsel of his elders, he chose a rigid approach, further increasing taxes and imposing more severe authority. This disastrous decision led to the revolt of the northern tribes, led by Jeroboam. The United Kingdom of Israel, under David and Solomon, was divided into two: the Kingdom of Israel, composed of the northern tribes, and the Kingdom of Judah, composed of the southern tribes. This landmark event in Israel's history is widely attributed to Rehoboam's poor decisions, ignoring the wisdom and experience of the elders and choosing a path that led to division and weakening of the kingdom. The story of Rehoboam serves as a lesson about the consequences of sin and bad decisions. His imprudent choices not only harmed his own reign, but cast a shadow over subsequent generations. The slippery slope of sin, when not confronted with repentance and correction, can have devastating effects that extend beyond the life of the one who sins. This narrative highlights the importance of seeking divine wisdom, acting justly, and considering the long-term implications of our decisions. Rehoboam's story is a reminder that, in matters of leadership and decision-making, it is crucial to align with divine principles to avoid harmful consequences that impact future generations. The story of Naamah highlights a profound message of hope and restoration through divine intervention, transforming tragedies into legacies marked by beauty and grace. Naamah's story was intricately woven into the complex tapestry of Israel's royal court. Her influence, however, transcends challenges and tragedies, revealing the redeeming power of God. Beauty beyond appearance. God works to restore not only aesthetics, but also the inner beauty and grace emanating from character. Wisdom amid adversity. Her story emphasizes God's ability to empower His children with wisdom to navigate life's adversities. Transformation of tragedies. Despite the challenges associated with her marriage to Solomon and the ensuing consequences, the narrative highlights God's ability to turn tragic situations into opportunities for His redeeming intervention. Hope arises even in the darkest moments. Legacy of beauty and grace. Facing her own struggles, Naamah became an example of how divine grace can transform lives. Her journey reveals God's power to create beauty from ashes, imparting grace even in challenging circumstances. Restoration by God's hand. Naamah's story underscores that restoration is not a human effort alone, but a divine act. God, in His infinite mercy and grace, intervenes in the lives of those who seek Him. He restores what was lost, transforms pain into purpose, and shapes legacies that transcend human limitations. Naamah's story echoes a message of hope and restoration. In the complexities of life, God can transform tragedies into testimonies of His grace and redeeming beauty. Naamah's journey is not merely a historical account, but a powerful narrative inviting trust in God's promise of restoration and renewal. This story resonates as an eternal testimony that through God, the most challenging circumstances can be transformed into legacies of beauty and grace that surpass human limitations. Although Naamah's mention in the Bible is brief, her impact is profound and enduring. Her presence continues to resonate in the culture and tradition of Israel, serving as an example of strength, wisdom, and grace. Naamah's legacy transcends generations, inspiring women and leaders to seek excellence in all areas of life. Despite her positive influence during Solomon's reign, she became part of a broader narrative that included challenges and significant consequences. The division of the Kingdom of Israel had a lasting impact on the nation's history, resulting in internal conflicts, spiritual decline, and eventually, the fall of the kingdoms to foreign powers. Naamah's legacy and Rehoboam's poor decisions provide a valuable lesson about the importance of making wise choices and considering the counsel of experienced people. While Naamah positively contributed to Solomon's reign, Rehoboam's lack of discernment highlighted the dangers of hasty decisions and ignoring wise advice. This narrative serves as a reminder of how a leader's decisions can shape the fate of a nation, reinforcing the importance of seeking wisdom, deliberation, and divine guidance when facing significant challenges. I invite everyone to reflect on this biblical passage.
Therefore the Lord became angry with Solomon, because his heart had turned away from the Lord, the God of Israel, who had appeared to him twice. He had warned Solomon specifically not to follow other gods, but Solomon did not listen to the Lord's command. So now the Lord said to him, "Since you have not kept my covenant and have disobeyed my decrees, I will surely tear the kingdom away from you and give it to one of your servants. But for the sake of your father David, I will not do this while you are still alive. I will take the kingdom away from your son." 1 Kings 11:9-13.